Good afternoon and welcome to Trumpet TV Midday News Update. I am Hannatu Samuel, and here are the stories making headlines this afternoon. Tinubu inaugurates working group on national policing bill, while ICPC arrests El-Rufai's doctor over court-approved medical visits. The federal government to demolish buildings for Lagos-Calabar coastal highway expansion. And Borno approves 1.649 billion naira scholarship fund. More details shortly. President Bola Tinubu has taken another major step towards the implementation of state police in Nigeria by inaugurating the Presidential Working Group on the National Policing Bill. The committee is expected to prepare the legal framework that will guide the operation of state police across the country once the constitutional amendment process is completed. Represented by his Chief of Staff, Femi Gbajabiamila, at the Presidential Villa in Abuja, President Tinubu said the Constitution Alteration Bill only creates the legal basis for state police, while the National Policing Bill will provide the practical rules needed to make the system operational. According to the President, the proposed legislation will define policing standards, accountability mechanisms, funding arrangements, coordination between federal and state police services, and safeguards for the protection of human rights. Tinubu said work on the bill must begin immediately so the implementation can commence without delay after the constitutional amendment is concluded. The Presidential Working Group is chaired by Chief of Staff Femi Gbajabiamila and includes the Attorney General of the Federation, the Inspector General of Police, the National Security Advisor, representatives of the Nigeria Governors Forum, the Nigerian Bar Association, and other key stakeholders. Speaking at the inauguration, Ogun State Governor Dapo Abiodun, representing the Nigeria Governors Forum, pledged the commitment of governors to ensure speedy ratification of the constitutional amendment by state assemblies. He described state police as a response to Nigerians' long-standing demand for community-based security and decentralized policing. Attorney General of the Federation, Lateef Fagbemi, also described the initiative as timely, saying Nigeria's current security challenges required urgent reforms. Meanwhile, the president of the Nigerian Bar Association, Afam Osigwe, expressed support for state police but warned that strong legal safeguards must be included to prevent abuse of power and protect the constitutional rights of citizens. The National Policing Bill is expected to become one of the most significant security reform legislations in Nigeria's democratic history. The Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC, has arrested the personal physician of former Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai over what it describes as a violation of a court-approved medical visit. The anti-corruption agency says the doctor, Professor Bello Abubakar, is being investigated for allegedly making false statements during the visit. According to a statement issued by the ICPC, El-Rufai is currently in its custody over an ongoing criminal trial before the Kaduna State High Court. The Commission said court proceedings scheduled for July 6 through 8 were disrupted after El-Rufai reportedly declined to appear in court, insisting on seeing his personal physician. The ICPC said although its own medical personnel found no immediate health concerns, the agency nevertheless complied with the court's directive and allowed El-Rufai to visit his doctor at the National Hospital in Abuja under security escort. However, the Commission alleged that the medical visit was later used for activities outside the purpose approved by the courts. According to the agency, photographs later surfaced on social media showing El-Rufai meeting with political associates during the hospital visit. The ICPC described the development as a violation of the court order and said it will bring the matter before the court during the next hearing. The Commission also confirmed the arrest of Professor Bello Abubakar, accusing him of making false statements connected with the visit. The agency says investigations are continuing and insisting that While it remains committed to respecting the rights of suspects in custody, it will not tolerate what it describes as the abuse of court-approved privileges. The matter is expected to return to court on July 15th. The federal government has announced a new phase of the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway project that will require the demolition of buildings located within a newly designated 15-meter setback. The expansion is aimed at creating service lanes and improving drainage along the highway corridor. Minister of Works David Umahi said structures affected by the new setback will be removed to allow for the construction of service routes designed to improve traffic flow and accessibility. Government estimates suggest that between 1,700 and 2,700 buildings may be affected by the expansion. Officials say compensation will be paid to property owners in accordance with existing laws. However, the announcement has generated concern among property owners, estate developers, and urban planning professionals. Some experts argue that service lanes should perform part of the original engineering design before construction began. They warn that introducing major design changes during construction could increase project costs, delay implementation, and create uncertainty for investors. Despite the criticism, the federal government has insisted the additional service routes are necessary for the long-term success of the project. The government also rejected claims that the coastal highway contributed to recent flooding in parts of Lagos. According to Minister Umahi, investigations showed that blocked drainage channels, poor waste disposal, and unapproved development were the major causes of flooding. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu supported the federal government's position, saying the state continues to improve drainage infrastructure while maintaining that service routes will enhance the overall functionality of the highway. The Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway remains one of the federal government's flagship infrastructure projects and is expected to stretch approximately 700 kilometers across 9 coastal states. Governor Babagana Umara Zulum has approved the release of 1.649 billion naira to support thousands of students under the Borno State Scholarship Program. The funding covers tuition, accommodation, student welfare, and international education support. The Executive Secretary of the Borno State Scholarship Board, Dr. Bala Issa, announced the approval during a press briefing in Maiduguri. According to him, the funds will finance scholarships for the 2024 and 2025 academic session for students studying in tertiary institutions across Nigeria. The package also covers tuition and accommodation for 272 medical students at the Federal University of Health Sciences in Azare. Another 34 MBBS students at Al-Ansar University in Maiduguri will also benefit from tuition support. The state government has equally approved school fees for 60 students at the Nigerian Institute of Leather Science and Technology in Zaria, allowances for nursing students, and educational support for 300 orphans of counter-insurgency volunteers. Governor Zulum has also approved return airfare for 276 postgraduate and undergraduate STEM scholars studying in China, India, and Malaysia. Officials say the investment demonstrates the administration's commitment to developing skilled manpower despite ongoing economic and security challenges. The scholarships board says arrangements have commenced to ensure prompt payment to beneficiaries and institutions. Students have been urged to remain disciplined, pursue academic excellence, and contribute to the future development of Borno State. And that's the latest from the Trumpet TV Midday News Update. I am Hannatu Samuel. Thank you for watching.